Minimum wage is the bare minimum that an employer is required to pay you for working. Many people are working tiresome, demanding jobs and making minimum wage. These jobs are often labor intensive and generally require no skills besides strength and stamina. With the terrible economy we live in, people are not making enough and want to be paid more. Some states have even raised their minimum wage a significant amount. However, I'm going to share with you why this is not a good thing. On the surface, it may seem like a good idea to pay people more for their hard work. I think we're all in favor of paying someone who has put in the effort more so they could, at the very least, pay off their necessary expenses and save some money. However, we must think about the long-term consequences of increasing minimum wage. In the terrible economy we're currently living in, it's not just the individuals who are hurting, but also the rising costs of goods and services are making small businesses and even some larger companies struggle to actually make a profit. If a company is required to pay their employees more for the same amount of work and the company is struggling already, then they will simply fire employees to cut costs. The remaining employees will be even more stressed since now they have an additional workload on their hands. Making a few extra bucks a day due to increasing the minimum wage is not worth the risk of losing your job. Not only will companies cut back, but costs of products will also increase. A company may fire employees, but also increase prices of their goods and services. This will primarily impact small businesses more than larger ones, but I think we can all agree we've seen the cost of pretty much everything skyrocket over the past few years. Increasing the minimum wage will only make this worse. And lastly, small businesses especially will likely close down if the minimum wage continues to increase. Not only will they be firing employees, raising prices, but less people would shop there as their prices continue to climb. This leads to the collapse of the business and all employees will be out of a job. Is risking your job really worth those extra few dollars a day? Do you really want the additional stress if you keep your job? Do you want your favorite places to increase their prices to the point that even with a minimum wage increase, you're not able to afford it? Do you want to see them shut down? These are all things people who demand the minimum wage be increased are not thinking about. The economy is basically in free fall with no sign of improvement. And on the surface, you think being paid more will help. That is until you realize you'll be spending more on goods and services or be fired since the company cannot afford to pay you. The best thing you can do is save up enough money and start finding a career you really enjoy. That way, it won't seem like work.